Hello, this is another edition of Slapstick, my general vlog content, where I just talk about my life and what's going on with my projects. I'm going to continue making cologne, perfume, scents while I'm doing it, so I've got something to do while we're doing it. And we'll talk about that to a limited degree, but we're mainly just going to be talking about what's going on in my life while I make a new edition of Slapstick, my personal scent. This will be Slapstick number 3. I tried a new formula today earlier that was very violet and leather scented heavy, without realizing that leather was actually a heart note and not a top note. So I'm starting over. This will be Slapstick number 4. Got a new bottle. So what's been going on? Been sick. Got bronchitis for about a week, and that was no fun. Yeah, but I'm doing better now. We're getting out some musk. The base of this is going to be patchouli, sandalwood, and musk. But I'm doing much better now. I went to the urgent care clinic and got some medication prescribed and got a bunch of tests to make sure I wasn't carrying around something deadly that was going to kill other people, and masked for about a week, and now I'm doing much better. I'm still a little under the weather, but I'm doing much better. So let's try clown projects. What's going on with clown projects? Currently, we are in the process of developing a show with myself and Nick Dixon, another clown, tentatively called On the Road to Armageddon, or The Road to Armageddon. It's another apocalyptic clown show, but different than my first. I'll be playing a different character, I believe, Patchouli. And in this show, we are exploring our different hungers that we have as clowns. Yeah, it's about 50 milliliters of patchouli. Set that aside. We're going to put in 25 milliliters of musk and 25 milliliters of sandalwood. We're making a 5 milliliter bottle. But in this show, Nick and I are exploring our different hungers. I get to do a cool gag with a handgun that came to me in a dream that I've been working on for a while. And we originally developed, before we developed this show, we developed an act based around where that was the blow off. What? Oh, I just can't see it, but it's in here. Oh, that's weird. Okay, there's the sandalwood. The blow off was the cool gag with the fake handgun. We developed that as an act. Since then, we have started taking that act and fleshing it out into a full show to the degree that we can. And 25 milliliters of musk. I don't know what kind of animal this musk comes from, but it is musk. Maybe an ox. Who knows? That show will hopefully stage, my hope is Church of Clown, but I'm not sure if they're going to be available first here in the Bay Area. And then we're going to take it to LA for the Hollywood Fringe in June. I am going down to the Hollywood Fringe in next week, in fact. Next Tuesday, I believe, I'm going down to Hollywood to tour some of the theaters that are available to us and decide which theater we're going with. We're leaning very heavily towards the Hudson at the moment, but the Stephanie Fury Theater, the Actors Company Theater, and the McCadden are also on the list. So I will hopefully be touring all 4 theaters to determine which one is going to be the theater we go with. The deciding factor is going to be twofold. I have, as part of our show, a large steamer trunk that's about 4 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot. We can't store that in the hotel and be carrying it back and forth to the theater every day. So we're going to need to store it at the theater during the run of the shows. So that's factor number 1. The vast majority of the theaters in Hollywood say no, you cannot store things here. The only one who definitely said yes to begin with was the Hudson, but now the Stephanie Furious said maybe, so that's nice. So we're looking at them as well. It's a second floor walk up, but they've got a wide hallway, so that shouldn't be a problem. The second factor is cost, obviously. Cost is an issue. We're gonna need some bergamot as our top note, and we're looking for leather. That's violet. We're not using violet today. Where's the leather? Here we go. Hioili leather essential oil. I think this smells more like a cigar myself, but you know, maybe tobacco and leather smell similar. But we're gonna give it a shot. So this is a little mid note of leather, which will be 2.5 milliliters of this. So that's about just shy of 1 milliliter there. And 3/4 of a milliliter. We need another 3/4 of a milliliter. There we go. That is our heart note. We started with our base note of patchouli, sandalwood, and musk. Now our heart note of leather. I wrote a terrible song about leather as a scent in my youth when I was in a terrible band called the Future Religious Leaders of America. Then our final note is going to be the bergamot. Bergamot is part of the scent that makes baby powder. Part of the scent of baby powder, bergamot and vanilla and so on. And I like the smell of baby powder. It is very appealing to me. This doesn't smell anything like baby powder, but it's not as strong of a top note. It's not as bright as one of my other top notes like tangerine. Okay, and for this we're going to need 6, so that's 1.5 milliliters of bergamot. So that is 3/4. And then another 3/4. It's a little high. It's a little low. Try that again. Still a little too much. Right there would work. Another 3/4 in bergamot. So yeah, that tour is coming up really rapidly. Ooh, I think I put the wrong stopper back in one of these bottles. Nope, I'm good. So I'm going down there in mid-February, the 17th and 18th. And hopefully, my hope is to meet with a good friend of ours that we want to direct the show while we're down there, but they're very busy right now, and so it's been trouble connecting with them to find out if they'll A, be able to direct us over Zoom, and B, if we'll be able to connect while I'm in LA for the day. Let's see what this smells like. Oh, that's very interesting. It's still kind of sweet, but that's because it just added the bergamot, even though I mixed it, and it hasn't come together with all of its scents yet, and that'll take 48 hours probably before it really finds itself as a scent. So let's mark this. Let's mark this S3 for Slapstick version 3. Okay, let's go S3. Oops, I slipped. Try and neaten that up a little bit. S3. After this trip to LA, what have we got going on with clown stuff? We're rehearsing hopefully every week at a space we're trying to secure where I work in the city once a week. So we're hoping to stick around and do our rehearsals after that once a week in the city. And then the hope is to do a preview performance in the Bay Area at Church of Clown in late May, early June, and then take our shows down to the Hollywood Fringe for June specifically. We're looking at maybe taking 2 trips to the Hollywood Fringe, because we've been told that we really need to come early in the Fringe to build momentum for our show, and then do the rest of our shows later in the Fringe. What people typically do is 5 shows over the entire month of shows to try and build momentum towards the end of their run. Since we're coming from out of town, it's really recommended that we do a couple shows at the beginning, like in the previews area of the event, which is around probably the 8th and 9th maybe, and then do the rest of our shows later in the month, towards the end of the month. So we're actually looking at the week of the 15th, or at least being back before the 25th, when Nick has another obligation. Well, not obligation. He has a timing conflict. So that's where clown stuff is at right now. I'm trying to focus personally as a performer on figuring out what I'm best at and how to support that with skills, how to build the skills to support the things that I'm best at. My feeling is what I'm best at is emotional vulnerability, being open and honest and vulnerable on stage, and dark, absurd humor. I'm having trouble finding directors who are as focused on dark, absurd humor as I am. So that is a bit of an issue that I'm finding as I go along, is someone who shares the kind of humor that I enjoy the most with me. Now, I have some great directors and mentors who are incredible clowns and incredible performers and give me wonderful advice, but even they'll admit that dark, absurd humor isn't their jam. So I really need to find someone I can connect with. For this show that we're doing, Nick and I, we're looking at a number of directors. Right now we're looking at our friend Leah Gardner, who was originally with Pi, the physical comedy troupe, and she's a great director. She's done a number of things. But we're also looking at Felicity Hassed, who runs People Circus, who is also great and has done a number of things. We haven't reached out to her yet. We'll probably be doing so this week. We're just trying to figure out who's going to be the best fit for us in terms of availability and style and cost as well. It's got to be a factor, because while I do a lot of producing, I tend to produce out of my own pocket. I don't really have a fundraising engine built in yet, so I need cost as a major focus for me. So that's where clown stuff is at. Life stuff, the wife and I are doing well. We love each other very much. We continue to work on our communication and being closer and finding ways to connect with each other as people. I know the love languages thing seems kind of trite, but I was just realizing that hers is acts of service, without her having told me that. So I'm trying to do more acts of service. Mine is touch and presence. But I also appreciate acts of service. Like anyone, you appreciate other people's love language and how they do things. You appreciate it, of course, and you hopefully don't take it for granted. But it's also important to speak to people in the language that they speak. And so I'm trying to do more acts of service with her and towards her. Health-wise, someone pointed out to me that I've been kind of sick for a while, and I thought about that. I'm like, I don't want to be that guy. But I have. Since my gallbladder exploded a couple years ago, I just had a number of ailments, and right now I'm dealing with a lot of middle-aged body stuff. I have a rip in the cartilage between a couple of my vertebrae, which causes a lot of lower back pain that's going to take a long time to heal. I have impingements or arthritis in both of my hips, and my insurance can't do anything about it. They say I should do something about it, and they send me to doctors, and the doctor said, yeah, we don't do that. And so they send me back to the same doctors over and over again, and the doctor's like, yeah, we don't do that. We won't provide a hip replacement on anyone under 70 in my network. Even though all the other doctors in the network who don't do hip replacements say, yeah, you need a hip replacement. So that's where I'm at with that. I am walking 40 minutes a day when I'm not sick, but I'm walking 40 minutes a day. and I am trying to work on my balance because my balance isn't so great. My ankles are a little wobbly, so I've been working on my balance, practicing that. And February is no sugar for me, no processed or raw sugar for me, with the exception of the wife and I are going to make a Valentine's Day cake together, which I thought would be a nice Valentine's activity to do together before I leave, and I'll help eat that cake. But aside from that, no sugar for me for February. Family is always fraught and confusing. I have a single family. I don't have much family. I have a mother and a father, and I have a few siblings or half siblings. One of them I don't really speak to at all, and the others I rarely speak to, not out of any animosity, we just don't really connect very often. So it's mainly my mom and my dad, and they're both having health issues, or their partners are having health issues, or both, and so I'm a little worried about them. Career. I'm still working for the company that I work for. It's a great company. They do a lot of great stuff. I'm always looking for more income and more income streams, and that's one of the reasons I want to perform more, because I've done event production and event management for over 20 years, but when I moved to this company that is an event production company, they didn't want me to do event management or event production. They wanted me to be the operations and HR guy. So that's what I've been doing for the last 3 years, and I'm doing a decent job of it, but it's not what I do well, and it's not what I love. So I want to do things that I do well and love, and that's why I'm trying to focus more on performing, because I need to get by. And that's about it. Thank you all for joining me for this weird little vlog thing. I'm hoping to do them every week as part of the Slapstick series, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.